Have you ever driven in the middle of the night to view the bioluminescence? The beautiful, glowing blue light that shines as the waves in the ocean crash? Here's a photo of the bioluminescence here in San Diego at Scripps Pier in La Jolla. This beautiful occurrence is actually an algae bloom. According to researchers at the University of California, San Diego in 2023, algae blooms are also known as red tides. This event can cause harm to sea life as well as to humans. We must all be informed on this topic because it is happening right here in San Diego on our coasts. I remember an algae bloom back in 2023 when I was walking along the coast of Santa Barbara and I saw 2 dead dolphins. It was such a sad occurrence, and this is when I first did my research on what algae blooms are. And I discovered that the dolphins died from a toxic algae bloom. Today I am going to describe what these harmful blooms are, what causes them, and how they impact the environment. A red tide is an algae bloom that can happen in the ocean and in fresh water. There are 2 types of algae blooms, the harmful ones and the non-harmful ones. According to the National Ocean Services, harmful algae blooms have occurred in every coastal city in the United States. The harmful algae produces toxins that kill the fish as well as make the fish in that area not edible. This algae bloom can turn the water red, and thus it's called the red tide. And here's a picture of the red tide. The harmful algae produce toxins that can kill fish, as well as make the fish in the area not edible. The National Ocean Service also states that not all algae blooms are harmful. Most algae blooms are actually good because the algae acts as a food source for the marine animals. The algae are an energy source for the marine life and are part of the food web. Algae blooms are prevalent everywhere and we see them frequently here in our own coasts. Scientists have been studying why this is. Here in San Diego, the algae bloom is caused by a microscopic species that becomes concentrated on our coast. According to a bioluminescence expert in 2020 from Scripps Institution of Oceanography in San Diego, the red tide is caused by a specific species that accumulate in the waters. When it is sunny outside, the organisms rise to the top of the ocean and thus giving the red tint in the water. When the organism is swayed by the water, it gives off a glowing blue color at night. According to the CDC in 2024, too many nutrients in the water can cause the algae to grow. These nutrients include nitrogen and phosphorus and can be caused by things such as fertilizer, rainstorms that wash all the trash and dirt from the cities, and sewage runoff. Algae blooms thrive in warm water, so you are more likely to see them in the hot summer months as well as the fall. Climate change also has a direct impact on these blooms because of the rapid rise in water temperatures. Although the algae blooms can be beautiful to the naked eye, it can have major environmental consequences. As I said before, not all algae blooms are harmful, but the ones that can be detrimental to the marine life and be harmful to us in the environment. Here is a photo of washed up marine life on the coast of Florida due to an algae bloom. According to an article written by the CDC in 2024, algae blooms can produce toxins that are poisonous. When people or animals consume these toxins, they can become very sick, as well as even die. For humans, this consumption can come from eating marine life that was affected in the waters. This same CDC article also discusses how these blooms can die off and use up all the oxygen in the water. A lack of oxygen in the water can cause the marine life to die due to being suffocated. The algae dying can also release toxic gases such as methane or hydrogen sulfide. These are not good for humans to breathe in. It usually smells similar to rotten eggs. An article in the San Luis Obispo Surfrider Foundation in 2023 discusses how these red tides affect the surfers as well as the marine animals. In the first week of June, when this red tide in San Luis Obispo occurred, scientists believe that over 100 sea lions died due to the toxic algae. The surfers in this area also experienced adverse reactions to the algae bloom. They had symptoms such as sinus infections, rashes that were itchy, as well as breathing issues. This goes to show that these blooms are not only impacting the marine life, but can also be toxic to us as well. As we have seen today, algae blooms are in every coastal town in the United States, and we might be seeing more of them as water temperatures are rising. Algae blooms can happen in the ocean or in fresh water, but are not all bad. Sometimes they can be good as they can act as a food source. These blooms are caused by a buildup of microscopic organisms, and they come to the surface of the water when it's warm out, and this causes a red tint to the water. The toxic blooms can have negative impacts on the environment by killing off marine life as well as making us humans sick. Next time you all go watch the bioluminescence in your area, I want you to remember what we talked about. You should research what kind of bloom is happening in your area and if it's harmful or not harmful. Thank you.